stickers or sending in messages. My name is GBEMISOLA. SOYEMI, good morning to you once again.
Good morning, dear listener. I am OLUTAYO. OGUNADE. We go straight to the papers. I have the Guardian newspaper, Premium Times. I have the Nation newspaper here, and also Daily Trust.
And I have May Punch newspaper, Vanguard, Daily Post, and Independent. I'll take headlines from Punch newspaper now. Police confused on mass trial order. Adeboye Kumuyi defy Twitter ban. Mbaka flares DSS summons, says I can't be dumbfounded. Joshua, Ondo community market shot. Brother recalls last encounter. Ogun community and the police differ as suspected herdsmen kill 3 farmers. Twitter ban wrong, dictatorial and counterproductive. IGP's wife threats on bear parlors. Nigeria among top 3 countries with electricity deficits. That's coming from the World Bank. Over 100 civilians not supporting IPOB's ESN killed. And that's the commander. Let's see from the Metro side. Amputee woman accuses Lassuth of negligence, demands compensation. 7 years after mass abduction, federal government renovates Chibok school. And from the business side, also, National Assembly concludes PIB deliberations. Bajabia Miller says bill not anti-business. And one or two more from here. Buhari appoints aides for wife or admin and women affairs and health. And finally from here, Anambra APC aspirants in rush as form submission ends.
All right, let's look at Daily Trust. And from there, expect changes in security operations. Defense Minister tells Nigerians prevail on secessionists to avoid another war. Northern elders tell Igbo leaders secession agitations. Northern elders flay Igbo leaders' lack of consensus. IGP bans spy number plates. Issuance of tinted permits. Will lift Twitter ban on one condition. Federal government summons US UK envoys orders over comments on Twitter ban. Attacks on INEC offices, other public assets, acts of terrorism, federal government. NSCDC unveils female squad against school kidnappings. NSA, CBN, IGP, NIMASA undermining us. Reps. Mixed reactions as federal government orders TV, radio stations to deinstall Twitter. All right, let's see some more from Daily Trusts. Twitter suspension bites hard on brands, businesses. Some will look to smoke out criminals from abandoned buildings.
All right, I'll take it from Vanguard newspaper now. Ban on motorcycles. Niger government provides minibuses as alternative. Urges patience among residents. Kaduna University students protest against shutdown of institution's gate. On NBC, directs all broadcast stations to suspend Twitter handles. Institutionalize cancer screening at PHCs for better outcomes, says Bello. NYC urges core members to avoid protest. Also this morning, Nigerian killed Germany-based businessman. Imo Police Command begins investigation. Yobe Police Command picks up abandoned child. Violent crimes, secessionist agitations at unacceptable heights. Buhari's minister. Insecurity, church leaders urge end to extrajudicial killings in Imo State. Lie to journalists, that's Lai Mohammed to journalists. Uphold peace, stability of Nigeria. Umahi resigns as chairman of Southeast Security Committee. Anambra State, APC says no anointed candidate as Mogalu declares election, no tea break. INEC to unveil new polling units next week. ASU condemns sack of lecturers, stoppage of union dues by Kaduna government. And one more from here, Igongo killings. Yoruba leaders accuse federal government of sponsoring bandits, ask residents to arm themselves.
Buhari stresses need for synergy of forces to end insecurity. That's coming from the Guardian newspaper. Adeboye Kumuyi defend Twitter. Twitter use as envoys again reject ban. NGF Jusun Rivers Judiciary open 2 days after weekend threat. Sanwo-Olu states full implementation of Lagos Master Plan. Dangote Fertilizer assures federal government of forex as urea production commences. Still from the Guardian, Nigeria orders to renegotiate climate change deal, regional investment. So from The Guardian, Brazil braces for third wave of COVID-19. How Ayadi's defection dismantled disorganized permutations for 2023. Another one here, attacks on police, INEC facilities, act of terrorism. Federal government declares. Allow Igbo to secede if need be, Northern elders advise federal government. Currency won't decide next Anambra governor, say APC aspirants. Group tasks Oshibajo orders on proliferation of small arms. From the business side of The Guardian, security agents mount 30 illegal toll points on access roads to Lagos ports. Expo targets over 100,000 new jobs in creative industry. Others, BDC directors reiterate commitment to exchange rate stability.
And from Daily Post newspaper on insecurity, Northern elders advise kinsmen to leave Southeast. Biafra, Igbos can leave Nigeria, Northern elders on war threats. On insecurity, install effective internal professional checks and balances in crime reportage. Ikpeazu tasks journalists. And also on insecurity, governments must rise to challenges, NUJ. Nigeria declares NatForce illegal, bans unauthorized security outfits. Ogun local government polls. Ogun Electoral Commission directs candidates on how to sign personal data form. And the CGN warns new FCT chief judge, saying no act of recklessness. Finally, from here on insecurity, Northern elders responsible for Boko Haram bandits, Ohaneze fires back at Wamako.
We're going on a short break. When we return, it will be time for analysis.
Give me my Kellogg's, world's #1 cereal. I love my Kellogg's, world's #1. Give me my Kellogg's, world's #1 cereal. I love my Kellogg's, world's #1. Oh, oh, Kellogg's, oh, oh, #1. Oh, oh, Kellogg's is world's #1.
Enjoy the world's #1 cereal, Kellogg's, today.
8 times 500 naira, 4,000 naira. 8 times 5,000.
I beg. Where on they see this money?
Money care. Now the ogbonge bonus we enter the summer me as I buy new SIM card. See, then they give me double data subscription plus 8 times a woof anytime I recharge.
Oh boy, what's up for me now?
You know, say you fit buy SIM card now for any accredited Airtel shop, ba? Just go there with your NIN, just like that.
Sure guy.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Uncle Dentist, wetin be cavities and how Colgate take they protect my teeth from cavities? Shey they use comfort?
No dear, na hole for teeth they cause most tooth pain will be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, take brush every day. The confirmed formula could help keep natural calcium inside our teeth. We could protect them from tooth decay.
Time don't reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate. Because Colgate locks calcium in.
And the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
láti gòkè àgùnlà láyé èèyàn nílò ìtọ́sọ́nà ẹni tó mọ̀nà débi àṣeyọrí. FMH International HR àwọn ni gbajúgbajà akọ́ṣẹ́mọṣẹ́ iléeṣẹ́ alárinà tó mọ ojúlẹ̀jà bá ti ń tọ́ni sọ́nà finimọ̀nà nípa bí gbogbo òǹwáṣẹ́ lè pàdé àwọn òǹgbanisíṣẹ́ pàápàá jùlọ láwọn orílẹ̀-èdè tó wà lókè òkun.
FMH International HR alábàáṣepọ̀ gidi ni wọ́n jẹ́ pẹ̀lú àjọ oníwádìí ìjìnlẹ̀ àgbáyé tá a mọ̀ sí United Nations Volunteer Research Group láti jùmọ̀ tọpinpin wàhálà táwọn ọmọlẹ́yìn ń kojú nídìí ìgbìyànjú ajé lọ sílẹ̀ òkèèrè. ìyẹn ọ̀rọ̀ tó jẹ mọ́ international migration àti international labour activities.
ǹjẹ́ o tiẹ̀ mọ̀ pé o nílò ìmọ̀ tó jinlẹ̀ dáadáa nípa ìlànà à ń tẹ̀lé láwọn pápákọ̀ òfurufú tó fẹ́ gbà sọdá sílẹ̀ òkèèrè. lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ bá a ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí United Nations Volunteer Research Group pẹ̀lú àjọṣepọ̀ FMH International HR ń ṣe research lórí ẹ̀dùn ọkàn àti ìpèníjà tẹ́ ẹ bá ní. questionnaires táwọn òṣìṣẹ́ FMH bá fún yín lágbègbè yín lẹ́ẹ̀ ṣàlàyé ìrírí yín sí.
fún àlàyé lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ kàn sí wọn ní 3rd and 9th floor Cocoa House Dùgbẹ̀ Ìbàdàn.
telephone 0817 4444 627
àti 081 68 73 7222.
Hey, why did you put it in the pot like that? You were supposed to break it first.
Says who? This is how I cook my pasta. Besides, it's golden penny pasta. It's non-sticky, so it doesn't matter.
But I want to cook it with meatballs mixed with pepper sauce and cheese.
Go ahead and enjoy your golden penny pasta just the way you want it. Golden penny pasta is made with durum wheat, which contains protein and it's non-sticky, so you can cook, serve, and eat just the way you want it. With Golden Penny Pasta, your way is best.
32 FM
94.9.
Welcome back from the commercial break. 32 FM 94.9. Austin Odumu just walked into the studio. My name is OLUTAYO. GBEMISOLA is right here.
Thank you very much. And of course, we're saying good morning to Austin. Good morning to you.
Good morning, baby.
All right, Austin, good morning to you. All right, let's go straight to our first story here. Gbemi.
Yes, I have this report from the World Bank that says Nigeria among top 3 countries with electricity deficits. The World Bank has listed Nigeria among the 3 countries with the largest electricity deficits in the world. It said during the last decade, a greater share of the global population gained access to electricity than ever before. But the number of people without electricity in sub-Saharan Africa increased. And of course, based on that calculation, Nigeria is a part of sub-Saharan Africa. And gradually, we, with all the allocations and the plans and projects that in the past we claim we are executing in terms of how electricity should get better in Nigeria, this report came. Have we been wasting money?
We have been wasting money. One thing is to allocate fund, and another thing is for that fund to be well channeled to the appropriate quarter vis-a-vis result generation. So the problem is not really in whether we have been voting money or not. Don't also forget a larger percentage of the fund being voted by government also ends up in private pockets as a result of corrupt practices and what have you. I think the World Bank is only re-echoing the obvious. This is a statistics that we know. If we talk about electricity deficit, you begin to hear individuals in Nigeria. Let's take Ibadan for example. How many people can even boast of 10 hours electricity supply in their various homes?
If you get 3 hours, you should be grateful.
You understand the plight. In my area, for example, we have had relative stability in electricity supply, but due to national grid that collapsed, I think about 2 weeks ago, we had like 4 days back to back without electricity. So that is the challenge we have. We also know that power infrastructure, investment in power infrastructure is capital intensive. So government have always invested, but the truth of the matter is that we have not really gotten value for some of these funds that have been invested over time. Look at the Mabila project, for example. This is a project that was conceived in the 70s. In 2003, it looks as if that project will come to a limelight with full force. But at the end of the day, what are we having? I had a report that Sunrise Power, who was the indigenous company trying to develop that particular power infrastructure that we have in the country on the basis of BOT, build, operate, and transfer. There's a current litigation before an international arbitration, even as we speak now. In 2017, the federal government entered into agreement with them to pay them $200 million US. Their initial demand was about $5.2 billion US. But today, the federal government could not pay, and we are inviting investors. We have 3 companies from China that are supposed to manage the Mabila, and this company are saying that, we cannot put our fund down except to sort out the issue of the indigenous company that had earlier handled it. The implication of that is that if we terminate contract at will, you look at the P&ID contract, you look at some other contract in the country. If we terminate contract like that, it will scare away investors, because they know that if we enter into agreement with this country, this is where we are going to find ourselves. So as it stands now, they are no longer demanding. Sunrise Energy is no longer demanding $200 million. They've increased it to $400 million because the federal government was the party that begged for $200 million several years ago, 2017. But shortly after that, the president came out to say that, We don't have $200 million. The truth of the matter is that who negotiated? Does it mean that the federal government, the president himself, was not aware of that particular negotiation? Because I'm aware that the Attorney General of the Federation signed up, the Minister of Power at that particular point in time signed up. So we have a huge deficit in terms of electricity gap in the country, and that is the reason why we cannot develop. That is the reason why the cost of production is very high, because people pay through their nose to actually get goods produced in the country, and at the end of the day, they will transfer the cost to the final consumer, which are ordinary citizens on the street. So if the federal government can articulate effort in cautious investment in the energy sector, we might be able to move forward. Look at companies, for example. We continue to cite this. There's a company in Nigeria that spent over 500 million to generate its power per month. Where do they get the money? And they are still in business. So they get the money from you and I. So that is the implication. So let the federal government work on the power sector. Of course, we have had a lot of issues. It was a sector that has been privatized, unfortunately so. It was sold to crony rather than inviting people who have the requisite knowledge in terms of technical know-how to manage that sector. But here we are today in the country. So the World Bank report is just re-echoing the obvious. And I'm sure a lot of Nigerians will agree with that summation this morning.
It's an inglorious list. Let's move away from that. Nigerian government orders TV, radio stations to deactivate Twitter accounts. The National Broadcasting Commission has ordered all broadcasting stations in Nigeria to suspend the use of the popular micro-blogging platform Twitter. This was contained in a statement issued by its Director General, Armstrong Idachaba, on Monday morning. And my question for Justin Idumo is this: how free is the press in Nigeria?
Yes, the press is now absolutely free. We have a lot of challenges as far as press freedom is concerned. Most of the time, government, especially government in power, want to bring up policy so as to gag the press in the country. This government must also remember that when they were in the opposition, social media play a very key and strategic role in them getting into power. They were able at that particular point in time to bring the former government down and also canvass for support across the country to the aid of the social media. Then the bottom line really, as far as Twitter Nigeria issue is concerned, of course, Twitter has a rule, but over time too, Twitter has also been found out to maintain double standard in the implementation of its own rule. How do I mean? Of course, the president's statement was inciting. The president's statement was unstatesmanly. The president's statement was unpresidential, because taking us back to the era of the Civil War look like you are threatening the country. But the federal government has also come out to say, yes, Twitter, this is your rule, but you have been selective in the application of this rule. There are some people who have also tweeted controversial statement, who have also tweeted a statement that has to do with trade. You never brought them down. Why bring it down that of the president? In my own view, Twitter also what the federal government should have done is to engage them, submit a petition to them that you have a legitimate concern that this microblogging organization seems to support some people against the government.
Any law that empowers the NBC to order broadcast stations to deinstall their Twitter accounts? Do you know how much it takes to get just 1,000 followers?
That is the issue, because the government, the point I was making is that the government overreacted. You understand? It's just like using a machine gun to kill a mosquito as far as the Nigerian government and Twitter issue is concerned, because a lot of people will run out of business. You deactivate now, sometimes later you ask them that they can go ahead again. So enforcing the ban, what I think the federal government should have done should have been to engage them, because there was no earlier sanction, something that looked like maybe a yellow card, for example, before issuing the red card. Like I said, of course, we all know in Nigeria. Look at immediately after the federal government banned Twitter, on the second, they had to pull down the post of Nnamdi Kanu, where he threatened that any security official that gets to the east will be
because it was reported.
Will be killed because it was reported. So that is the point I made. The federal government should have written a worded petition to Twitter that we have noticed over time, this is your activity. You are selective in the implementation of your own rule. Going forward, this is what we want, because whether we like it or not, if there is no public outcry, Twitter will not even bring down any post except people have to criticize it. That is the rule. If it is controversial, if it is threatening, they will bring it down after reaction.
Asked Nigerians, particularly those following him, to report the tweet from Mr. President, and then Twitter, took an action on it. All right, you've asked telcos to restrict Twitter. You're not telling broadcast stations to uninstall their Twitter account.
I think he's taking it too far. After the engagement yesterday, because the Minister of Foreign Affairs met with certain everyone yesterday, this issue can still be resolved in such a way that it will be like a win-win for the country. It is only shocking that the federal government did not look at the economic and social implication of all of this. Because if you look at the United Nations Charter on Human and People's Rights, individual and citizens reserve the right to make their opinion in terms of their fundamental human right as far as free speech is concerned made known to the public. Look at multinational organizations in Nigeria that all of this will affect. We are only talking about broadcast stations this morning. So for me, I think the federal government overreacted on the issue of Twitter. Don't forget, it was not just the post of Mr. President. Don't forget the alleged role by the federal government of Twitter during the NSAS protest. It's just like when you have somebody. I
like the fact that you said alleged.
Yes, it's just when you have somebody in mind. The founder of Twitter at that particular time technically supported the agitation to end SARS in Nigeria. You understand? Of course, funds directly never came from them, but they actually mobilized for people to donate funds to the cause of the end SARS protester at that particular point in time. I'm only telling you the reason perhaps why federal government reacted that way.
It's like a comeback for the federal government.
You understand? So they use this as an opportunity. The NSAS was one case. They use it as an opportunity to get at Twitter. Then the second one happened around March when Twitter decided to cite its headquarters, operational and administrative headquarters in Ghana. And there was a public outcry that
it gave a reason.
That Ghana is a country that have regard and respect for fundamental human rights. That was a slight on the Nigerian government. They owed Twitter on that particular account. So when this happened, that of course it's true. That is the truth of the matter. But people in government, whether true or not, they don't want to hear. Whether you criticize them constructively or not, what they want to hear is that you sing their praise at every point in time. So that is just the matter. So this is just like the latest. The federal government just used this as an opportunity to actually put that particular ban. Instead of outright ban, there should have been another form of sanction that would have looked like a yellow card instead of outright ban, not minding the economic and social implication on the country.
Why is the federal government always quick to react to things like this? I mean, we have issues of insecurity going on in the country. And then people get kidnapped every day. Sometimes we see it en masse. And then there's always an outcry. The only platform for most people, I mean, we can't all go out every day of the week to, protest that some people were killed yesterday. The only platform, which is the social media. I'm not talking about Twitter alone now. Social media, that's where people go. Sometimes you don't even know these things happen. You get to see them online. You get to see video evidence and audio evidence online. Now, the federal government usually would not react to things like that. Even if they react, all they do is we condemn. I'm trying to remember those other words that are being used. We are shocked. Now, this happens and then they don't just take an action. They take an action and then there's a follow-up to the action.
Yes, a very decisive action, and to actually enforce that particular ban. That was what NBC had just come out to do for broadcast station this morning.
Are you saying the NBC is also a tool of the federal government?
Of course, yes. We have to look at that. Some of this latest revision of the law, some of this code were single-handedly written by Alhaji Lai Mohammed.
We are yet to hear anything from the federal government on the killings that occurred at Igogo over the weekend. Let's look at this particular story from Daily Trust. The Northern Elders Forum has asked leaders of Igbo extraction to prevail on the secessionists in the southeast to sheath their sword in order to avoid another war in the country. The elders stated this while briefing journalists after a closed-door meeting in Abuja. According to the spokesman of NEF, Dr. Akim Baba Ahmed, the northern leaders have resolved not to allow any war in the country.
Yes, we do not pray for war, and we are trying as much as possible to ensure that there is no war. And the federal government must lead by example to ensure that the country is united, the country is together, because history will also have it that we have never been this divided before, and this happened under the current president. A united Nigeria was handed over to him, and I'm sure he will do everything within his power as the president to also keep the country together until he will be leaving office. But how united are we in the true sense of it? We have a federal government that is selective in reacting to certain action in the country. It is not just about secession. If you ask the Igbos, they will tell you they don't want to go. They need a Nigeria that can work for everybody. They need a Nigeria where every Nigerian is equal. They need a federal system of government that will give people a sense of belonging.
So it's a case of we love our country, but we frown at the activities of those in government.
Yes, we frown at the activity of those in government in their area of selective action taking. Is it in the area of appointment? We talk about these times without number. Some of them are glaring. Some of them are like a way of saying that, oh, we have done this, we will get away with it. There's nothing you can do. Let the federal government address the issue of insecurity in the land. Let the federal government look at the issue of social justice in the land. Let the federal government look at the issue of marginalization in the land. Some people complain most of the time and you tell them to go to hell. That is not how to run a country. So some of these secessionist agitation, they may not even surface in the first instance if the federal government has taken steps to unite this country. So it's not about agitation. If you ask the people that are saying we want to go, they are saying that things are not proper, which means that if the federal government start doing things in a proper manner going forward today, you discover that these individuals want to stay in the country. Because if we say we want war, nobody knows the extent of war. And unfortunately, there was no provision for a referendum in the 1999 constitution. So that is the problem that we have. If there are provision for referendum, we will have even thrown it up and say, oh, let people go out and vote. Do you actually want to go? But the truth of the matter is that the center can no longer hold in the country. Let the federal government build a country that can work for all. A country that is free of nepotism, a country that is free of tribalism. Let there be issue of equity. Let it be addressed frontally in the country, where some people think that they are more equal than the other. Such a federal system cannot work. So let the federal government look inward. It is not about people who want to go. It pays for us to live together as a united country. But if we are living together, some people should not be allowed to lord it over the others.
All right. Also, IGP has banned spy number plates and issuance of tinted permits across the country. We'll take that story when we return from this break. Stay with us.
Center Fresh. I feel the freshness. I got the confidence. With the liquid fuel chewing gum, not Center Fresh. I'm feeling good. I feel so good. I feel so fresh. I feel so fresh. I got confidence. Center Fresh. The correct chewing gum, not Center Fresh. No darling with Center Fresh. Center Fresh chewing gum. Trust the freshness.
As a child, I already know what I will become. As a kid, I already know that I am a star. As young as I am, every child dream is valid. With that
iléeṣẹ́ Novesola wọ́n ní kí n sọ fún ọ pé tòjò tẹ̀rùn gbogbo àkókò ńlẹ̀ dá ádámà nílò náà yàtọ̀ sí náà dògán tá a fi ń sun bọ̀ọ̀lì lábà oko àgàgà yín náà sólà tó ń gbàgbára láti inú òrùn tó bá gbọ́ Novel sólà ní ó tẹ̀lé iléeṣẹ́ Novesola wọ́n ti wà ní sẹpẹ́ fún pèsè àwọn èròjà sólà lẹ́lẹ́kàǹkà inverter solar panels and batteries solar kit láti tanná láti charge battery gbọ́ rédíò kọrin jẹ̀gbádùn àti láti tanná ẹlẹ́yin bíi 2 sí 3 solar fan tó ń gbé fan láti tanná sùn dẹ́kun ẹ̀fọn amáranini ṣokùnfà àìsàn ibà solar floodlight fàyíká ilégbèé àtòpópónà fún sẹ̀mọ́lẹ̀ solar freezer láti ṣe nǹkan nǹkan jíjẹ mímu lọ́jọ́sí kó mi síta fún oníbàárà solar CCTV camera ẹlẹ́yinjú àsáfà àbò nílé iṣẹ́ àti ọ́fíìsì solar water heater tí sọmi tútù di gbígbóná solar water pump tó lè fami gòkè ní kànga energy saving appliances DC bulb DCTV DC fan tó ń gbàgbára náà sára bẹ́ẹ̀ làkànṣe solar product wà fún dókítà lecturers farmers tailor àtàwọn ṣọ́ọ̀bù káríkárí Novẹ́ solar kan náà ń lo kájú ẹ̀ kàn sí wọn bó rajà lólùléeṣẹ́ wọn tó wà ní Akíndélé plaza ìdójúkọ Adamasingba stadium Mọ́kọ́lá Ìbàdàn tàbí lẹ́ka iléeṣẹ́ wọn tó bá súnmọ́
081-8776-6005.
Novẹ́ solar ń lo mójútó solar.
Give me my Kellogg's, world's number one cereal. I love my Kellogg's, world's number one. Give me my Kellogg's, world's number one cereal. I love my Kellogg's, world's number one. Oh, oh, Kellogg's, oh, oh, number one. Oh, oh, Kellogg's is world's number one. Number one. Kellogg's.
Enjoy the world's number one cereal, Kellogg's, today.
I'm a very, very big guy, but I don't joke with my giggy bites. So MTN get the free guy with this data plan for the midnight. 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. 2 gig, oh boy, I can live the life. IG, TikTok is ready to go, oh boy, I'm feeling fine. Because 11 to 6 in the morning, IG, TikTok falling, 2 gig there for me. MTN boss, yes, of course,
MTN Pulse. Do you dial *406# to join?
Everywhere you go, MTN.
32 FM
94.9.
We're glad to know you're still there listening to us. 32 FM 94.9. It's still the Break of Dawn newspaper review, and we're taking the story in the Punch newspaper now. And it says IGP suspends issuance of tinted glass permits and spy number plates. The IG Usman Baba on Monday announced the immediate suspension of tinted glass permits and issuance of spy number plates in the country. According to him, some mischievous persons have capitalized on the license to commit crimes. He said that for the avoidance of doubt, I'm quoting him now, spy number plates are for official use of some categories of corporate bodies, while tinted glass permits are issued under some statutory regulations. While we were off air, Austin asked the question, so I'm throwing it back at him. He said, what about those cars that come with, the glasses are already tinted when they are coming, when you are buying them?
Factory fitted tinted.
Exactly. So
No,
what do you do?
You don't know how we
Don't
say
you
it.
have to register them?
Follow
Follow-com.
tinted. The follow-com
Tinted glass.
I think to curb insecurity in the country, there are certain steps that could be taken. On the issue of spy number plate, of course, like the IGP has said, some people are using it for the wrong reason. Even the tinted glass, it is medical in nature. There are some people, they use it for their nefarious activity, but the law stipulates that if you have eye defect, for example, wherein the sun ray comes into the car, hits your eyes directly, it could have adverse health effects on you. So there is a medical provision for that. Even when you go to the police office for a driver for tinted permit, there is a test you have to undergo. But the truth of the matter is that not too many people undergo this test. We do no longer rely on medical reasons again. We just go there because of fancy. I don't want people to see me. I want to tint my car and I want to do all of that. So if the government is looking at it from that angle, it is good. But we just raise a fundamental issue. What about the follow-come? When the car arrives in Nigeria, what do you do now that you can no longer get a permit?
You sell it to somebody that has a permit.
Or there are exceptional cases wherein you get into the police, you explain to them that, oh, this came with it and I had to get permitted to be able to look at it. Then on the issue of insecurity across the country too, apart from this issue of spy number plate and tinted windows, we also look at the activity of Okada throughout the country. Some of the guys that goes to the villages to massacre people, they don't go in tinted glasses car. They go most of the time on Okada. Look at the Gogon scenario. Okada was also involved. Look at the cases of banditry in the north central, for example. They always come in convoy of motorcycle. So why can't we look at that? Let us look at that, because for Okada they don't need it.
So ban Okada.
We might not ban outrightly, because some people means of livelihood depend on it. I've said it on this platform before. I had to interact with Okada riders. Some of them are BSc holder, some of them are HND, OND holder. Because there's no work to do, they have to hit the street and start riding Okada. If you differentiate them when you see them, some of
failure of the state, Austin, I will tell you, nobody will want to. This was not the case
this was not the case many years ago. So the government has failed in so many. Yes, they are a product of the failure of the society. Don't also forget, the society creates the crime while the people commit the crime. So that is the way it works. So I'm not advocating for a total ban of Okada. Let us regulate in such a way that we'll be able to look at the security implication. Because some people, majority of people that are riding Okada today, they are doing it for the wrong reason. Some of them are only spying. Some of them are not even indigenous people. Some of them are strangers who do not even know bus stop. If you are here, you call Mokola. Some of them don't know where it's called Mokola. They are using it as a spy, so as to be able to carry out some other activity. Look at the operation in Lagos in recent time. The Okada seat, they will have some ammunition under the Okada seat. We have seen Lagos police parade so many of them. So we have to look at the activity apart from this issue of tinted glass and what have you. If it is to curb crime, so be it. But let the federal government through the IGP also look at those imported cars that are already in tinted form, so that at the end of the day, what we are trying to prevent will not be counterproductive. So we have to look at it critically.
He said in due course, an enforcement mechanism that will enforce the standardized process of issuance of spy number plates and tinted glass will be implemented across the country. The Nigeria police will also work closely with the leadership of the Federal Road Safety Commission in this regard. So this is a case of, this is like what happens almost every time. There's a new rule or a directive, and then they dump it at the feet of Nigerians without due explanation. This isn't the first time we are seeing things like this, because as of yesterday when the story emerged, what we were asking was, okay, we expect details. What are the reasons? And it took some time before we even got to see the reasons.
We got the reason.
And now
it was our first time we got the reason.
Exactly.
At that particular meeting, the reason was not
given, was not explained. So now what we have is how, in due course they would, look
Start
at were those things not considered when you were planning or when you were looking forward to this particular
what I expect
suspension.
the police authority to do will have been that those that have tinted glasses, let's even stop them, whether they have the valid permission. Do you know that there are a majority of them? Just go to a place that is not far from us. Just tell them, buy it now. I want to tint my car. In the next 1 month, it will remove. You go there again and tint it. Do they have that permission? So we should start from there, apart from outright ban. For example, I had one, a follow come one. I went to Eleyele for official permit, and I was given the permit. You understand? Majority of people that use this tinted glass, some of them don't even go to the police to obtain permit. That is what the police should have started with. Say, oh, let us even check whether they have permit. Those that are using spy number plate, let's check whether they are approved people, because some corporate organization can use it for security reasons. So let's check whether the right people are using it, or whether some people are using it for the wrong reason, rather than a outright ban. Of course, if it is against insecurity, let's see how that goes at the end of the day. But the police must be careful so that this will not pinch the authority against the people.
We have a caller here. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Okay, you can try reach us again, 0705 5000 949 or 0809 7000 949. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
And Austin. Good morning. This is
Good morning, sir.
well said. Good morning. I really appreciate you this morning. So, like you were just saying, most of the time we take action, we speak, let me use the word, before even coming to explain or say why we did that. It was just strange too, for them to now come out and start explaining much later. It actually shows a set of confused set of people who don't really know what they are doing, with apologies to them. So I think what we should do now, I believe, is maybe I don't want us to sit down and be watching. Watching as in, I'm still trying to imagine, but what I feel we should all do now is, Tayo, yourself, myself, and every one of us, maybe it's really true now, Austin, that we should now leave it to God, because these people are not ready to help us. I don't believe in leaving it to God, but I think we've really come to the level now, whereas maybe it's God that will really help this time, because they are not ready to listen. Good morning.
Thank you. Okay. Hello, good morning. Hello. All right, let's try this.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yep.
On this my name is Yomi Oshimi from Ibadan. Please, on this thing and the integralization thing, I think it's another name coming up for Nigerians. You can imagine what the police will do to people trying to get this permit. The important instance about when this thing started earlier on, I tried to get mine back in Adoikiti. I knew what they were asking from me. I walked away from them. Now again, they want to make it compulsory for all of us to go and get this thing all over. They should do their job. Maybe stop the vehicles from even coming in with tinted glass. Because it's not my fault that the vehicle came with tinted glass.
All right. Thank you. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. You're going and Austin Ibimu, thank you. And let me just tell you this morning. Obato Jetili to Ruka Nipare. Obato Jetili to Karuka no Nipare. Allah Igbo to succeed, Northern Elders or the federal government. And this is coming after 2 days when the amalgamation of the Northern Women Forum, led by Hadiza Adamu in a well-organized protest, all the federal government let people choose to live in peace in Nigeria or leave. The Women Association said any other group or nationality that want to succeed exercise their right of self-determination like the Southeast has been agitated for decades to be allowed to live Nigeria peacefully without resulting to a second civil war. The Women Association advocated for referendum. However, the Northern Elders Forum is only laying emphasis on Igbo nation. With the Northern Elders Forum, they claim that only Igbo is agitating. The best way is let there be referendum. If you don't want to go, let them go. Let therefore be. We may be better off as good neighbors than bad brothers. John Njok is my name. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Williams.
All right.
I want to say this on this Twitter ban. See, have you seen a spoiled child throwing a tantrum because he was rebuked for wrongdoing? In my own view, that is how the federal government is behaving as regards this Twitter issue. There are so many things attached. A government that truly understands what it means to lead. Your actions are measured. And somehow you must consider things critically before you jump into some actions. We have a government that does not care about how policies affect the people. And somehow that is sad. You must consider the people first at all times before you take any actions. But somehow the government is doing what.
All right. Thank you, Williams. Let's quickly observe our very last break for the day. And of course, for this morning, we'll be back to analyze some stories and, of course, to take more calls.
Hey! Make you no sleep on top bicycle. This better don't tie rapper for those of una whenever using an MTN SIM for over 15 days now. MTN don't charge. Come increase your welcome back of our whoop to 12 times your recharge when you load 100 naira and above. Yes, so no be 1, no be 2, no be 3, no be 4, no be even 10 self. Now 12 times your recharge, then go take credit and data knock your phone. This one means if you recharge 100 naira, MTN go summon you with 900 naira credit plus 300 naira naira data bonus. If you can't recharge 200 naira, now 1,800 naira credit go drop for your phone. Plus 600 naira data bonus. Just make sure so you use star 161 star recharge pin hash. Take recharge and enjoy your bonus for up to 30 days. Omo, this one don't pass. Welcome back. MTN can add Shaw Banker second term on top self. Hey, where that my MTN SIM? Make me self begin follow enjoy better too.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
As a child, I already know what I will become. As a kid, I already know that I am a star. As young as I am, every child dream is valid with Adron Homes.
Yes, with Adron Homes Young Landlord product, every child can become a landlord today. Buy a plot of land for your child and enjoy up to 20, 40, or 50% discount with 6 to 36 months payment plan. That's not all. You get lots of free giveaways like school bags, provisions, free meal voucher at the Place Restaurant, Domino's, or Chicken Republic, and many more freebies. For more inquiries, call these numbers:
08167552420 or 09020475116.
Every child dream is valid with Adron Homes.
Set to fresh. I feel the freshness. I got the confidence. With the liquid fuel chewing gum, not Santa Fresh. I'm feeling good. I feel so good. I feel so fresh. I feel so fresh. I got confidence. Set to fresh. The correct chewing gum, not Santa Fresh. No darling with Santa Fresh.
Santa Fresh chewing gum. Trust the freshness.
Give me my Kellogg's, world's #1 cereal. I love my Kellogg's, world's #1. Give me my Kellogg's, world's #1 cereal. I love my Kellogg's, world's #1. Oh, oh, Kellogg's, oh, oh, #1. Oh, oh, Kellogg's is world's #1. Kellogg's.
Enjoy the world's #1 cereal, Kellogg's today.
Guy, what's in the make you scatter house like this, eh?
I beg, you help me see my Airtel SIM.
I carry and give Shade yesterday, but you know they use them again now.
Yay! You don't carry my bonus gift landlord picking. Now today you go pack out.
On top Airtel SIM?
Yes, so if you don't reach 15 days where you never use your Airtel SIM, go find them now. Because why? Ogonga will full on top of. Hey, get 2,000 naira airtime plus extra 200 MB for just 200 naira. The more you recharge, the more you are woofo. To begin enjoy this awoof, just dial *241*7#. Terms and conditions, Joe.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Time check 6:53 from our studio here. Still taking calls from you, dear listener. Destination time is 7 o'clock. 0809 7000 949 0705 5000 60 seconds contribution. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. I'm Falodun from Kwakwaludo calling you, sir. I want us to go back to history. Nigeria of 67 to 70 during the Civil War. Is there from Nigeria today? This is according to the Bible 1. We have money, we don't know what to use the money for. That's the period. So you can fight for, you can do one money, you can do anything with it. But the present Nigeria, this Nigeria that we are borrowing money to construct railway line, to implement budget. So let us don't go to war. Please, people should try for themselves to be very patient. Then I'm the issue of resource.
Hello. Hello. All right, 0809 7000 949. Hello, good morning.
Jimmy, Tayo, and Austin. This is Young from Oyo.
All right.
Austin, you are the only person that tell us the truth about Twitter since today. Federal government has their own fault. But Twitter also, they are biased. But we Nigeria will rush because of our own gain. The gain we get from something. That's number one. Number two, about Okada. There are rules and regulations of Okada. In Oyo State, there are rules that Okada should not take. We don't implement it. We implement it. will reduce the crime in Oyo State. Have a nice time.
Thank you for your contribution. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Adesho Yemola from UI. People that are saying Twitter are biased, they are biased. I want to ask them one question. Obasanjo was president in this country. Yar'Adua became to Jonathan. They insulted them. In fact, there's no kind of name they did not call. That, by the way, on Mizadankili, people are saying we should be patient. We should be patient. Augustine and my uncle Mark, if you have been to that place, I'm telling you, as we speak, BBC, they were there yesterday, you will not see a single villager. They are on the run for outsiders to dominate their place. Now, if we are in a same society, are people supposed to be sitting down and watching that? There should be something to be done. And what they call themselves, let's have the best of today, I beg.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. See, some of the things we know, some of the things we see on the field, we cannot report as seen. Because we practice what you call responsible journalism. We should be, as stakeholders, what we're doing is to ensure that the unity, the fragile unity of the country is protected. All right? And what we're saying is, if we need to talk, let's sit around a table and talk. What are the things that we do not like? What is the way forward? That is all that we are doing, as a matter of fact. So we know some of these things. But, hey, is it all the truth that the public need? Let's take it this way. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning. Benny, Mr. Austin, good morning. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, my name is Dr. Mark. I still want to talk to the government in terms of banning of Twitter and all that. I made a statement yesterday that we cannot, be disconnected from the world. There are certain things that we should see and we keep quiet. A leader should be ready to swallow so many things. A leader should be able to bear because of the people he's leading. It is not the way leadership in Nigeria appears to be now. It's as if they do not even understand the role of a leader. The president of a country as big as Nigeria shouldn't have taken the decision to even go ahead to go and ban Twitter activity in Nigeria, knowing fully well that the SMEs, most organizations in this country, use Twitter as their information board. So there is a whole lot that is going on right now. You can't just wake up and say people should stop using a particular media because of one person. I mean, the president and Minister of Information should please bring down their ego and allow Nigeria to move forward.
Thank you. Hello. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Good morning. What's your name?
This is Oluyede from Ewo.
All right, sir.
I don't know why you people will allow an organization to undermine your national security. I encourage you and the foreigner to undermine your national security.
Who are these you people? I mean,
I didn't even get the message.
I mean,
we are encouraging foreigners to undermine our internal security. Who is foreigner? Is it Twitter or?
Hello, good morning.
Bayo, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
This is Bayo. Mr. Austin, good morning.
Morning, sir.
Hello, are you hearing me, sir?
Yes, we can hear you.
Bayo, go on.
Yeah. Bayo, just try to analyze something to us now. That is the solution that you want. If you want to go by the way we people called, this program will not go on again. I want to ask a question. Ban Twitter or no Twitter is not my problem. I will say something. People like Lai Mohammed are not telling our president the truth. That's just it. When during the joint era, this our president say something, I will make this government ungovernable. Do you know the meaning? I will make it ungovernable. Nobody will say eyebrow, nobody say something there. That's word alone. Please, what is the meaning? See, it is not about the remove Buhari Twitter or not. Some people are using this Twitter, for business, for something. But this government, they don't care. They said a lot of things to Jonathan then. Who cares? Who cares? Now, see, I'm not blaming Buhari. I'm blaming these people that because of this problem.
Okay, the
Austin.
mouthpieces of
Yes, whoever
the
that advised
president.
Mr. President, I see a situation where the ban will not last anyway. So let the federal government take urgent
The
steps.
box is stops on the table of Mr. President.
Mr.
So if
President.
your lieutenants or your advisors are not doing the right thing, get on the streets and feel the pulse of the people yourself.
And do the needful. That is how it should be. But I think the president, to a large extent, is incapacitated. So whatever these people do, as a result of that lacuna, they get away with it. So let's resolve the issue amicably for socioeconomic reasons. God bless Nigeria.
Amen. Thank you very much, Austin. And thanks to all those who called, those who listened. We'll be back tomorrow morning. My name is GBEMISOLA. SOYEMI. Have a great day ahead.
I am OLUTAYO OGUNADE. Good morning.